Someone asked me to talk about how tarot spreads can change your readings, and I fucking love talking about tarot spreads, so let's get into it. I really like to compare tarot spreads to blueprints. So if you think about when you're pulling your cards, generally if you're not going to use a spread, you might know ahead of time what your question is and how many cards you're going to pull for the reading, but you're not necessarily assigning a specific meaning or trying to answer a specific question with every single card you pull. In other words, each card is not necessarily responding to a facet of your question, but that is how I tend to think about and explain spreads. It's really a blueprint for your reading, and it's really giving each card a kind of slot to fit into and really be answering a specific facet of your question. Now, some spreads are just like 2 or 3 cards. They can be really simple, and those questions sometimes, or those prompts, like what you're seeing for each card specifically in the reading, sometimes can be really general or open-ended. These don't have to be highly specific. But what a spread can do is really put some kind of guardrails around the conversation that you're having with your cards. And it can really help you, especially if you are coming at a situation that feels really sticky or complicated. Instead of just pulling a bunch of cards and trying to figure out what the tarot is trying to communicate with each card, it's really giving the cards an opportunity to be more clear about what exactly they're bringing to the table in terms of the reading itself. I'm going to make another reel basically giving you an example of this. All right, continuing from the last reel, we're talking about how tarot spreads can impact your reading. So I want to give you an example of a question and the 2 cards that you might pull to answer that question. The first, interpreting it without a spread, and the second, adding a spread in. I'm going to show you a couple of cards from the new Black Seed Tarot. It's all animals. It's really sweet. Check it out. Okay, let's say that you are someone that has a new creative idea. It's really exciting to you. It feels really good. You really want to start pursuing this new thing. But you want to pull some cards because you're feeling stressed about potentially starting the thing and taking resources and energy away from your very busy life. Is this something you should pursue now, or is this something you should shelve and make later? Let's say you just ask your cards this question and don't use a spread, and you pull 2 cards, Temperance and the Ace of Wands. Now, looking at these cards together in a general reading to answer that question, you might think, awesome, I should pursue this, but I should be really thoughtful about it. Temperance is a card of moderation. It's a card of integration. It's a card of, accepting our personal contradictions. And so this is telling me I can move forward, but I need to be really thoughtful and gentle and careful about it. But the Ace of Wands acknowledges that there is this spark here, and it's something that is really special and potentially worth pursuing. Let's say we asked the exact same question and got the exact same cards, but this time we're using a stop and start spread. Stop, Temperance in this position, says something completely different. It's telling us, hey, knock it off with the moderation and lean all the way the fuck into your fire. Pursue this with everything you've got. Now, one is not more right than the other, but there is a lot more specificity in that spread reading.